UPrep and Fairport. Pick things up with UPrep up 3, time winding down to the third. Big game for James Kester, the Jester. Nothing funny about that if you're UPrep, because that is well within range. No touchdown. They did get the field goal right before the quarter. That's going to matter. I'll let you know why later. Then in the fourth, Gavin White. He pretty much does everything for this UPrep team. It's on full display here. A touchdown. He's in, and he also got the 2-point conversion. So the Griffins go up 8 here. Time winding down from Fairport. Here's the play of the day. Sam Roselli buys time. Jonathan Roselle snags it. Look at that, a touchdown with time winding down in the fourth. No 2-point conversion, but you got to stick with us here because this is this final play. A field goal for the win. It's blocked. UPrep winds up winning by 2, 28-26.
Our blood pressure is probably higher than it needs to be, and hopefully it comes back down to normal here in the next 20 minutes or so. We had a moment there where we thought the game was kind of at hand, and then momentum shifts. That's what happens when you play good teams. Fairport's a very good football team. And to come away with the win, big time players make big time plays. Gavin, Sampson, they made big plays at the end to win the game.
All right, a pretty incredible game there, and so was this one. The Class A undefeated Irondequoit hosting Canandaigua will pick up as Cooper Moore gets the handoff on a 2-point try. He walks in, and the Eagles take an 8-7 lead in the third. But the Great Wolves string back. Jack Clark fakes the give, and on the boot calls his own number. Clark gets a first and would later punch it in. Canandaigua leads 15-14 moments later. To the fourth quarter we go, and how about more for more? Cooper on the sweep gets in the crowd. He reverses course, switches hands, and Irondequoit takes the lead in the final frame. Deshaun Nelson would recover a fumble to give Irondequoit the ball back, and then Joshua Barr gets his turn. He's swallowed up in the backfield, moves east and west, swings out a tackle, goes back the other way. Barr puts on the burners, and he is out of there. Are you kidding me? That's a nail in the coffin. Irondequoit is 3-0 with a 30-15 win over Canandaigua.
Hey, they're looking pretty good. You want points, though? I present to you the East Eagles taking on Wilson tonight. First quarter, we're scoreless. Seanquez Williams drops back, has his big sophomore receiver. Desmond Jackson, what a grab down the sideline. Only needed 1 foot in. He got both anyways. This ain't the NFL. Maybe he's on his way. East is on the move. A few plays later, Amir Bush takes the handoff. He finds the end zone. Eagles soaring high with the first touchdown of many to come, because then in the second, Williams eyes a man wide open down the field, and it's Jackson again. He hangs on in stride. Almost lost it there, but that's a touchdown. East wins it 49-14 to get 2-1 on the year.
All right, and the Lancers are excited as Eastridge welcomes in HFL. Cougars look to pass here. He's got a man, but not before Eric Bell ball hawks this one. Picks it off for the Lancers. He run this one back, but a penalty negates the return. Eastridge has no sweat. Anthony McKinney in the shotgun fires it. Night sky, and it's a beauty. Miles Hellerman has it all. Lancers getting for 6 to take the lead late in the first half. Ensuing drive, however, Nate Meacham for HFL back to pass again. A screen pass to Brian Finn. He swims his way through the defense and in there, but Eastridge comes back late as McKinney throws a game-winning score to Justin Weathers with 13 seconds remaining, and the Lancers defend home turf 32-27.
So many games went down to the wire today. More games, though, to get to. You might as well call these next two rivalry week. Starting with the great Battle of Chilai. Town was founded in 1822. Every year since, Gates Chilai and Churchville Chilai have squared off. Yeah, that is totally not true, by the way. But still a crosstown rivalry, and the Saints just keep marching into the end zone. That is Ocean Minor swimming the 10-yard dash in for the touchdown. Saints up 3 scores, and they are going to look for a lot more in the fourth. But right here, off the bad snap, Jackson Leonard holds onto the football, maybe tries to do a little bit too much. It winds up in the hands of big number 66, Landon Burke. And that turnover will lead to a touchdown for Gates Chilai, but Churchville Chilai, a few more of those to respond with. Andrew Frost carries it in the distance. A big win for the Saints. And another town with bragging rights at stake, Arcadia, trying to defend home turf against Athena. Trojans led by 21 at the break. Cameron Bell takes that in, and that's a touchdown there. Looked like a fumble, but the refs rule him in for 6, but then he's back out there on defense, and for good reason. First play from scrimmage, Jackson Childs tries to improv, but nope, that's picked off. Back-to-back highlight plays for Bell, and then QB1 takes a break too. New one in for Athena. Cole Poth finds a path, makes it a cold world for Arcadia. Trojans win big 63-15.
All right, Matt, I'll take it from here. Victor taking on Webster Thomas in a battle of 1-and-1s. Let's talk defense. Victor back to pass, but nowhere to go. Joshua Jobson, like it's his job, holding on to the QB. Rich Restagno and Ari Gaffel are there, and Victor comes tumbling down. Good nose for the Blue Devils, though. Matthew Langan gets the carry. He goes tumbling. He goes stumbling. He goes rumbling himself. Kevin Madison gives him the push he needs, and the Devs take the lead. Later in the first half, though, Michael Wells out of a cannon. Wells saying, well, don't run that play again. The Thomas Titans shut out Victor in the second half and scored 26 unanswered to get the road win. Down the road to Schroeder we go. Warriors taking on the Pittsford Panthers. First play from scrimmage here. Liam Torpey gets the carry, and Torpey torpedoes his way through the line. He then sidesteps a linebacker. 3 men to beat. Eventually dragged down at the 20. Same drive. Kalen Watkins back to pass, taking the snap. Watkins slinging. Zachary Caldas on the other end of it. Schroeder strikes in the early going. Ensuing kickoff. Deshaun Preston fields it, finds an alley, gets through it, and then shakes off a couple tacklers. Punches another, finally dragged down at midfield. The Panthers wouldn't score on that drive, but Pittsford does come back and scores 17 unanswered to win 17-7 and improve to 2-1.
Alrighty, a couple more final scores for you. Gananda is now 3-0 with a win over Haverling in Class C, while in independent ball, Geneva 57-0 shutout, and Avon takes care of Geneseo in Class D.
And, of course, still a slate of games on Saturday. Newark Marion looking to stay undefeated against Edison. Then at 1, McQuaid Jesuit and Penfield square off. Spencerport visits Brighton, and a battle of undefeateds early. And at 3:30, Monroe looks to get to 3-0 against Brockport.